you to get a curly cut, blow out your hair, get the trim first, wash your hair. You will have so much damage that, and there's no way to verify that every curl that you cut is equal to the previous or to the next. So close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. With everything that is happening on the internet about curly cuts, so I wouldn't resist the urge to go and find out myself. So I did a little bit of digging, and here is what I found out. We are going to start from the basics, going into the details of it. So curly cuts, this is a cut that you get when your hair is in its natural state. So our hair is naturally coily or curly, if you want to call it that. So meaning that or you get a haircut with your hair while it's in that state. So you just wash, and I understand that they're supposed to use some specific products, and products that do not, they're supposed to avoid products that have oils and such things. So let's talk about how much it costs. A curly cut is quite expensive. This is because it's time consuming, and the training for you to know how to do a curly cut is quite expensive too. So it only makes sense for the service provider to charge it at an expensive price. So, and how long should a curly cut last you? A curly cut is supposed to last you for a duration of 4 to 6 months at least, or even longer, depending on who is doing your curly cut. If they are doing it right, it should last you for at least 6 months. Between the curly cuts, you can go in for a maintenance cut once in a while, depending on how your hair feels. And don't forget that every time that you go in for a consultation or for any cut, you're going to be paying some good amount of money. So this is something that is supposed to be serving you. And when the curly cuts came along, they said that, they did say that it was going to give you it was going to give you healthy hair in its natural state. And who wouldn't love to see their hair in its coily form? No one. So ideally, that's why people jumped on this bandwagon. But then they didn't know that what they were getting into would soon become a recipe for a perfect storm. So this is what happened. They experienced damaged hair. Most of the people that I have listened to, I have listened to Shelly V. You can check her out. I'm going to tag these people on my description box. So there is Shelly V, there is Jen Jackson, and there is the African Hair God. For the African Hair God, he provides his side of the story. For Jen Jackson, she also hosted Shelly V to hear her side of the story, and they tried to do an investigation on why these curly cuts caused damaged hair. And Shelly V is one who has been getting curly cuts so quite often, but her hair is so damaged that she feels someone or some people along the way they failed. But either herself and the hairstylist, or the whole method in general has failed. So let's talk about what is in the damaged hair. That do you realize first? You start realizing texture change. Shelly said that she realized that there was more tangles in her hair, so she wouldn't get through her hair as easily as she would on other days. And then her hair started to feel dry, and then she has these super ridiculous split ends that run from the tip. It looks like it's a tree. I don't know what to call it, but it looks so bad. It's like a tree, if I may call it that. A tree with so many branches. So, like, she had one strand of hair that, let's say it was about 6 inches, that came from her hair that had that much split ends. A whole 6 inches with split ends that are about half an inch to almost a quarter an inch to half an inch apart. So that's how damaged her hair was. And that's when, after realizing that's when she went ahead to find out what was happening. So back to my point and to my point of view, this is what I think of curly cuts. Curly cuts are, you're supposed to go under a dryer, and by you going under the dryer, in as much as they're saying it's safe, the heat from the dryer, I believe dryers, there are 2 types of dryers. There are the dryers that the heat is coming from directly above you, and there's a dryer where the heat is coming from the back, something like that. So meaning, from depending on the direction that the heat is hitting your head first or your hair first, that is the part that is you first going to realize that there is difference in texture, a different texture, and then overall that will spread. And by you drying your hair under the dryer without having used conditioner, and that is both deep conditioner and leave-in conditioner, because for those who have used deep conditioner and leave-in conditioner, depending on how often they did it, how often they used the deep conditioner and leave-in conditioner, the damage in their hair is minimal or none. For those who did not use, they're the ones like the likes of Shelly V. That's what they have come to realize, that their hair is so damaged to the point that you might even start considering a big chop at this point. So what you need to understand is that intense heat and occasional heat, because now at some the curly cuts are not lasting people, have not been lasting people as long as they should. So the curly cuts should not you, in as much as you're doing a curly cut, you should not neglect your hair, in that your hair is moisture loving, so you want to ensure that you give it all those good nutrients and the moisture that it needs to keep growing. So what should you do? You should be using your listen to your hair. Actually, that's the only thing that I'm going to tell you. Listen to your hair, because I go by this. I can do good or bad all by myself. It all depends on what you ask of me. So listen to your hair and what it needs. Your hair will never lie to you. If your hair feels dry today, moisturize it. If your hair feels moisturized tomorrow, skip the moisturizing tomorrow. So listen to your hair, deep condition your hair, and even if you're going to keep getting the curly cuts, get the curly cuts with your hair blown out. Let's look at this. How are you going to see split ends that are this high? Let's assume this is my hair. How are you going to see split ends that are this high with your hair in its coily state? You can't. So the only way for you to do that is to get a blowout. Straighten your hair in a blowout so that you can get to see all those split ends. And if these people who are offering this service say they are professional, then they should be able to blow out your hair in a heat safe way. There shouldn't be a problem doing that. So if they have a problem getting to blow dry your hair in a heat safe way, then means there is a problem with their technique. So you need to blow dry your hair, blow it out, so that you're able to get all those damaged ends, split ends, and everything that needs to go, and then wash your hair, set it, and you have your hair in its coily state. If you ask me, should anyone continue getting their curly cuts, get your curly cuts as long as you're sure that your hair is healthy. But every once in a while, blow dry your hair to look at the health of your hair strands. Without your hair strands being healthy, there is no way you're ever going to achieve anything with your hair. Your hair might look nice and all well styled, but going to look at the individual strands, you will have so much damage that at the end of it all, you will either have to big chop or give up your hair journey altogether. So to avoid all that, kindly do right by your hair. Do right by your hair. That's the only thing if you don't take anything out of this video, kindly do right. Take that. You should do right by your hair. So ideally, you should also be expecting, if you continue getting what are they called, curly cuts. If you continue getting curly cuts, you're going to be getting your hair to be uneven, because there's no way you can get your hair to be trimmed evenly if you keep getting curly cuts, because you're cutting it curl by curl, and there's no way to verify that every curl that you cut is equal to the previous or to the next. So that's the only thing that you should be expecting. But if you take anything, do right by your hair and blow out your hair for you to get a cut first, then wash your hair. That's how I would say it. This is how I feel. Let me just say it. Let me just put it out there. For you to get a curly cut, this is what I would say. For you to get a curly cut, blow out your hair, get the trim first, wash your hair, they set it at the salon, and you're good to go. If they can't do that, then you have no business being in their seat. That's my take. If they can't do that for you, you have no business being in their seat. Until next time, guys, peace, and kindly consider subscribing. Let me know what other topic you'd want to hear me talk about. In our next video, we'll be talking about how to handle your natural hair gently, or how to gently handle your natural hair. Either way, kindly consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.